Hello and welcome to this, the 6th video of my trips on the 2023 Round Britain Rally. This time I have 6 landmarks for you, and I'm going south and west in a big way. I'm going to be going to the far end of Cornwall. Ironically, this is almost an identical distance for me as it is to the top of Scotland. I suppose that just means that I live in the perfect place for the Round Britain Rally. Anyway, enough of that. On with the title, on with the videos. Well, here we are, first landmark, and spot the deliberate mistake. The deliberate mistake is I forgot to turn on the cameras when I was riding to Chewstoke in Somerset, so we have images of me riding from Chewstoke in Somerset. As you'll see, some of the roads around the area were interesting. There's little actual information on the Packhorse and Irish bridges, but Wikipedia does have some info on the village. It describes Chewstoke as a small village and civil parish in the affluent Chew Valley. The village appears to have had a long history going back to the Upper Paleolithic period. In later times, the Romans had a double octagonal temple there, on, ironically called, Pagan's Hill. This temple was possibly dedicated to the god Mercury. The village was also home to a family of bell founders and clockmakers, the Bilby family. They produced over 1,350 bells in the period from the 17th to the 19th century, and were highly regarded as clockmakers. So, all in all, quite a busy little place in its way. Now then, how do? We're in Somerset now, and this is the little village of Chewstoke, and we're here to see the Packhorse Bridge, which is that one over there, and the low water crossing, or the Irish Bridge, which is that one there. It's a very pretty little place, and we've just had a bit of a shower to welcome us. So I'll just take you across the road, give you the full effect. Ooh. There we are, complete with youth on bridge. Isn't that pretty? Unfortunately, you missed out on the ride in, so I'll show you a bit of the way out, just to make your day. But there we are, Packhorse Bridge, Irish Bridge, Chewstoke, another RBR done. We are on our way to the second landmark of the trip, and the second landmark in Somerset. This is the Somerset Spacewalk, or more especially, it's the sun that starts the Somerset Spacewalk. The inventor of the walk, Pip Youngman, set out to model our solar system so that visitors could appreciate the distances between the various planets. It's sited along the banks of the Bridgewater and Taunton Canal, and is built on a scale of 1 to 530 million, so that 1 millimetre is the equivalent of 530 kilometres. The sun itself is a concrete sphere of 2.5 metres in diameter, or 8.2 feet, and it weighs approximately 14 tonnes. As you can see, it has little information boards included in the centre, and I just think what a brilliant idea. So we're back again, this time Somerset number 2, and we've gone to the sun. Just walk our way through here. So here we are. So this is part of the Somerset Spacewalk exhibition, built on the scale of 1 to 530 million. So Pluto is almost too small to model, and yet is 11 kilometers away. So it's a model of the solar system, all set out in scale. This is the sun, and it's down here next to the canal. Not that the running water's making me want to go to the Loo or not, but there you go. So here we are. Canal and the canal bridge. And the very surprising thing of the sun hiding around the corner. Isn't that lovely? These are one of the sort of things you find on the Round Britain Rally. I'll do a bit more of that as a voiceover later, but that's impressive. After our sojourn in the heavens, we are making our way to one of Devon's contributions to the rally, the Linton and Barnstaple Railway. Unfortunately, I have a dog ate my homework admission. The GoPro file for the landmark was corrupted, so I'll have to waffle you to death this way. On the plus side, my route would take me up Porlock Hill and through Linton and Lynmouth along the A39 Atlantic Highway, which is a great road if you manage to hit it when there is very little traffic. Briefly, the hill at Porlock is considered to be the steepest A-class road in the United Kingdom. It has gradients approaching 25%, or 1 in 4. The road opened in 1843 when a stagecoach descended the hill, having set off from Linton. In 1900, a rally driver was the first person to drive a car up the hill, winning a £50 bet in the process. The descent is via Countersbury Hill to Linton Village, and that's quite spectacular too. Anyhow, enough for the road, splendid as it is. The Linton and Barnstaple Railway opened as an independent railway in May 1898 and ran for just over 19 miles. It wasn't a commercial success and closed in 1935. There is an active Linton and Barnstaple Railway Trust, who have purchased the Woody Bay station and are trying to reinstate as much of the line as possible. At the moment, the line runs from Woody Bay to Killington and back, and is described as one of the most picturesque and narrow gauge railways in the world. Hard to argue against that. We are heading to the fourth of this trip's landmarks, and one of the two in Cornwall. This is at the far end of Cornwall, near Penzance, and is known as Lanyon Quoit. It's a dolmen, or portal tomb. Dolmen usually consist of 2 or more megaliths, or uprights, and a flat capstone, or table. Originally this one had 4 uprights, but it collapsed during a storm in 1815. The locals raised enough money to have it reinstated in 1824, but one of the uprights was too damaged to be used. Before it fell down, the quoit was tall enough for a horse and rider to pass underneath, but now it's only 1.5 metres under the capstone. That stone is 5.5 metres long and weighs more than 12 tonnes. Not sure I'd be that keen to walk or even ride underneath it. Now then, how do? Back again. This time we're at the far end of Cornwall and we've come to see that little beastie, which is called LM08. Again, don't know much about it, so I shall tell you a bit as a voiceover later, but what a spot. Don't know if you can see it, there's a little tin mine winding engine house in the background. And there we are. LM08. Onward. Having made our way to the far end of the Cornish peninsula, well, almost, it was time to turn back. On the way, we would collect the second of Cornwall's landmarks, the Bury Tower at Bodmin. Bodmin is one of Cornwall's most ancient settlements. During the Middle Ages, it benefited from 13 churches, and in the 12th century, 2 monasteries. One on the site of the current parish church, and one in the area of town known as Bury. During the 16th century, townspeople decided they needed to improve the chapel that was on that site, and work started on the Bury Tower. Work proceeded very slowly, with labourers only working in the summer months, so that the tower only grew at 6 foot per year. The tower was eventually completed in 1510, which gave it only 30 years' use before Henry VIII forced the closure of the chapel. By the 18th century, the chapel had disappeared, but the tower remains. In 1848, the graveyard at the parish church was full, so the grounds of the tower were pressed into service. Hello, we're back, and this time we're in Bodmin, and we're here to see the Bury Tower, which is that. Bury Tower apparently is the ancient part of an ancient chapel that was used for the cemetery. So here we are with the cemetery of Bodmin, and rather lovely little tower. Sorry, I'm just playing with it bending over with a very wide angle. There you go. That's the Bury Tower. Off to the next one. We're on our way to the final landmark of this trip, and the second one in Devon. This is Denham Bridge. The information sheet that's supplied with the rally lists it as being near Beer Alston, although some websites list it as being nearer Buckland Monacorum. The bridge, which crosses the River Tavy, is a 17th century bridge, although it's suggested there's been a bridge there for very much longer. There was a restoration undertaken in Victorian times. The bridge has been extensively sketched, painted, photographed for many, many years. Famously, J.M.W. Turner sketched it in 1813 as part of a long visit exploring picturesque sites in Devon. You'll not be surprised to know that there's been a site for wild swimming, and that thrill seekers will jump off the bridge into the pool below. Whilst the pool is reputed to be plenty deep enough, some say over 40 foot deep, locals comment that there's a lot of debris gets washed under the bridge, which can lead to accidents. Either way, it is a rather beautiful place. Now then, how do? We're ending our day back in Devon, near Beer Alston. Now, sorry if you get a lot of heavy breathing because I'm manoeuvring around here, but I'll just show you. The place I'm manoeuvring is a little bit scary, so I should be careful. But, so what are we here to see. Oh dear. Right, we've got this beautiful river. Little wagtail there, you probably couldn't see on camera. And what we're here to see is that. It's the bridge, called Denham Bridge, near Beer Alston, and it's in a very beautiful place. And the ride to get here was absolutely lovely. Well, that's me done for today. Back to the hotel, back home tomorrow, and then more rides out later. Catch you later. Meanwhile, this really is beautiful. So, that was my trip to the Cornish Peninsula, and a very lovely one it was too. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you've missed any of the previous videos, they're all collected together on my channel as a playlist. Do have a look. Thanks again for watching. I hope I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.